What is up? Okay. So my name is Joshua. I don't know how many of these are going to be made, but I figured that, while I'm here living in France, why not capture the memories and the stories? Because so far, it has been quite the adventure. And this is more so just for me. And so I'm not expecting anybody to watch these, but if you are, thanks. And buckle up because I don't know what these are going to look like. I got my tea. I am traveling right now. I just moved to Chamonix, France, December 3rd after living in New Zealand for a year, mainly in Queenstown. And I'm just trying to chase snow and go snowboarding. I've also not launched a business, but it hasn't been launched yet. It's just an e-com business, but I don't know what I'm doing with with e-com, but I do know that I want to make money while still being able to travel. And I'm sure that's like a lot of people's dream. And so here I am and deciding to make a video just letting you know what the adventure has been thus far getting to France and living in Chamonix, but also just with business and my adventures and struggles and wins and failures in that. And there haven't really been any wins because I have the website, but not making any sales at the moment and just like learning how to navigate business. And for someone who's not really like computer or tech savvy, like learning how to make money online. And so learning a new skill, that's kind of like what this is about, I guess. It's just like Joshua traveling and also learning a new skill in business and e-com. So without further ado, like I said, this is for me just to capture these moments and to look back. I got to Chamonix on the 3rd of December. I moved here without a job, without accommodation. I didn't buy a car this time. In New Zealand, I didn't have a job or a house, but I had bought a car sight unseen before I actually flew into New Zealand, so I could just tour around. Not doing that here. And I quickly found out the housing shortage that's here in Chamonix, as well as there was one in Queenstown as well. But like, it just seems like wherever I go at this point is expensive and there's a housing shortage. I don't think expense should dictate where you go to travel, though. I think that's kind of silly. Just go wherever you want and you adapt and you'll make do and you'll figure it out. But anyways, that's not the point of this. So I booked a hostel and stayed there for 9 days. And I was applying for jobs and hadn't snowboarded yet. The whole goal, like I told you with traveling, is just to snowboard. And so hadn't done that. Mind you, it was pre-season still. I went snowboarding today for the first time and it was unreal. Oh my gosh. The deepest snow I think I've ever snowboarded in. It was up to my waist and even higher at some points. It was crazy. Loved it. Anyways, and so I found a job at this hotel, which I will not tell you because I did not last long there. Long story short, they hired me as a valet, which is housekeeping. I don't know French, and so I'm going to be learning French. And from me to you, if you move to France and you're looking to work in France, learn the language. I swear I got fired from this job because I don't know French. I had 4 days of training working with people, and then my 5th day, I was by myself, and on my 5th day, the first day by myself, I get fired. Not in person, not on a phone call, but through text. this job was great. I mean, it had accommodation, it had food and everything sorted for me. And yeah, I was at my place in the evening, got a text. They wanted to terminate my contract and they wanted me to be moved out of the accommodation the next day. And they had a termination paper for me to sign. And so the next day I get to work. They don't even acknowledge that I'm there. And I had to wait 2 hours to sit in and have this meeting with one of the managers. Anyways, crazy thing though is that, well, they said that with the termination, they said that my work was not adequate, was not up to snuff, up to their standard, which is kind of crazy because I'm a good worker and I ask a lot of questions. And usually how these things go, and I told them this, was that the manager sits down with the employee, and if something is not being done right, you let them know. And you just say, hey, these are your weaknesses, these are your strengths. Maybe these are the areas that you can work at to become better so that you can prosper here and have a good time here and enjoy it. And that conversation was never had. And so I told them, like, this is usually how it goes. You don't just go from like hiring someone who doesn't have any housekeeping experience. Yes, I've got hospitality experience, but a restaurant does not equate to like making beds, and it's difficult. Housekeeping is not easy. And so they hired me knowing that I didn't have any experience. And I told them that like usually like this is how things go, is that you sit down and let me know what I can improve on, but you didn't do that. And I feel like, I wasn't set up here to succeed. And so they agreed with me, and they agreed that this is not how you treat people, but that they decided to go ahead with the decision, which is fine because before I sat down in that meeting, I got a call from this random guy that I don't have him in my contacts. I think he said that he found me off of a Facebook post that I made on one of the pages here in Chamonix, but called me. His name's Warren, 50-year-old Australian guy. Beauty. Called me up. He's like, hey, are you looking for work? I have a chalet here in Chamonix that I just need help, like organizing, cleaning, snow removal, all that kind of thing. I told him my situation. I told him I don't have accommodation, and they need me to leave the accommodation within 24 hours. And so the next day, Warren, what does he do? Picks me up from the train station, brings me over here, and he's like, okay, you can stay in this bachelor suite, which I'm currently staying in right now. And the job was supposed to only be for the Saturday to help him because these guests were going to be moving in. But he let me help him out for a few days during the mornings, during the day. I get to stay in this bachelor suite, which is awesome. I absolutely love it. It's in Chamonix. It's not an hour train ride away like the other accommodation was with the hotel. And yeah, I get paid, which is great. And so it was a win-win. And but so the whole plan was that it was very temporary because he's got someone moving in here. And so I was supposed to be gone on Sunday. It's now Monday. And so the stay got extended. The guy that's moving in here decided to not come as early. And so I got to stay here a little bit later. But now I have to leave. Sorry, I'm trying to go through this fast because I don't want this to be long. And there's a lot that's happened. And it's just you watching this anyways. No one else is watching this, which is totally fine because I'm just making this for myself. But yeah, and so now I have to leave this place. And it's the 23rd of December now. And all the hostels are taken in Chamonix. Because everyone's got the holidays off and everyone wants to come here and ski and snowboard, which makes sense because I went snowboarding for the first time today. And oh my gosh, I love snowboarding. I'm not a professional. I just love snowboarding, and I want to travel, and snowboarding is my motivation to travel right now. I got to go heli skiing for the first time in New Zealand, and now I get to say that my first time in Europe, and I've been able to snowboard in the French Alps. Incredible. Anyways, now I have to leave. And so the hostels are all booked up. I don't have a job yet. And so I am taking a 10-hour bus ride to Nice tomorrow. I have a friend there who I made friends with in Queenstown, New Zealand, and they live in Nice, and they invited me over to stay with them and have Christmas with their family if I was going to have Christmas by myself. And didn't think I was going to take them up on their offer, but I don't think I have any other choice or option at this point. Not that I don't want to see them. I'm actually stoked to see them, just to like see like a friend, in France, and just to not be alone for Christmas would be nice. And I'm super appreciative of them opening up their home to me. Very, very nice. And so it'll be good to just get out of Chamonix, clear my head, and see a new part of France. And the plan is Warren is going to be holding my snowboard for me because I can't take it with me on the bus. And so the plan is to go to Nice for as long as I can and apply for jobs in Chamonix, and then take a 10-hour bus ride back here once I get a job with accommodation. So that is the plan at the moment. It has not been a dull ride here in France for me, let me tell you. But moral of the story, learn the language of the country that you're going to be deciding to work and live in. And because I think that's ultimately why they fired me. There was definitely like a hidden motive to it. And they fired a bunch of other people after me the next day who didn't speak French as well, which is kind of sad. But all good people, all good workers. So anyways, c'est la vie. This is also going to be a journey of learning French. And so I don't know what this is going to look like, but you're going to see adventures. You are going to see and hear about the, adventures and journeys with business and struggles and my goals. Like I said, my goal is to just be making money on e-com so I don't have to work a 9 to 5 and I can just keep going traveling, just fund the travels. And then learning French and seeing how that goes. Okay? Love you a ton, and hope you're doing well while you're watching this or whenever you decide to watch back this. And here's to new adventures.